If Randy L. Teton's face looks familiar to you, it should. Her likeness has been pressed onto several million coins.
When I look at the coin, I don't see myself. Actually, what I do see in the coin is my forehead, my chin, and the eyes, and the lips. So those are my characteristics, but other than that, it's Sacagawea. It's an image of a beautiful 15-year-old Shoshone girl.
In 1998, Randy posed for an image of Sacagawea that was chosen by the United States Treasury to be minted into a golden dollar to honor the Shoshone woman who guided the Lewis and Clark expedition.
I am the same tribe as Sacagawea. We're both born and raised in the state of Idaho.
Did she really look? Is that what you look like?
No, we don't know what she looked like, hon.
Because her image has come to represent Sacagawea, Randy has become an ambassador for the famous American Indian woman.
I get all sorts of questions. If I'm real Native American, am I the real Sacagawea? And you know, there's always the questions about how to say her name, Sacagawea, Sacagawea, Sakakawea.
Randy attends all the Lewis and Clark bicentennial events and has educated thousands of people on the role Sacagawea played in making the expedition a success.
I tried to teach them really who Sacagawea was, what her role was, and that she was a Shoshone woman who was just 15 years old with a baby, and she was married and had to take care of these 40 men on this expedition.
The Philadelphia Mint produced and introduced the Sacagawea dollar 4 years ago, and it's still in circulation today. That coin, along with Randy L. Teton's educational efforts, have created renewed interest in a Shoshone woman who played an important role in shaping American history. I'm Cliff Naylor reporting for NBC North Dakota News. When you drive into the Prairie Haven campground, the first thing you notice is Ethel. That label was used to describe high-test premium gasoline in the 1920s, and it's also the name that's been given to a mannequin that disguises an old abandoned gas pump.
A lot of people stop by and they look at her, they get quite a chuckle out of her, and then they have their pictures taken with her.
Ethel gets people's attention, but the main reason campers pull in here is for TLC.
When campers come in and they're tired and just want to lay down and maybe crabby even, it doesn't take too much love and kindness to change their attitude, and they usually leave feeling a whole lot better than they did when they come in.
If campers don't feel like cooking, they can come in and eat at Hamburger Haven, which features unusual entrees.
I love sauerkraut, and Ray makes the best hamburgers with sauerkraut and little cheese and hamburgers, and they are delicious.
Ray Flowers is the head cook here. He says the most popular item on the menu is the Hawaiian burger.
It's a burger that's marinated in teriyaki sauce, and then you put pineapple on it, which is grilled, and then 2 slices of bacon. Kids love to play and paddle around this 11-acre campground.
We bring the whole family. We come camping here. It's very peaceful. The kids can play. They can ride their bikes. They can go on the pond. It's just wonderful. You don't have to worry about it.
The worry-free environment, access to exotic food, and Ethel are just a few of the reasons customers keep coming back to the Prairie Haven campground summer after summer. I'm Cliff Naylor reporting for Ag Day. When you walk through this grove of trees, you're stepping back in time.
You stand here for a while, you hear the birds in the background. Maybe if you're lucky, you might see a deer cross the trail. So, oh yes, it's very easy to escape and go back 200 years in history.
In 1804, Lewis and Clark set up winter camp just a few miles from this forest. While their journals don't document it, historians speculate that the famous explorers might have wandered through this forest.
We think that there was several hunting parties that came through these trees, these woods 200 years ago. It's within proximity of where they would have hunted, gathered firewood, stuff like that.
This is the last old-growth cottonwood forest left in North Dakota. Because Garrison Dam has prevented flooding on the Missouri River since the 1950s, these trees have lost an important part of their regeneration cycle.
The cottonwood needs flooding to regenerate. They need those sandbars to have their seed collect and start growing from seedlings into large mature trees. And with the controlling of the river, we've lost that flooding cycle into the ecosystem of the cottonwoods.
Thanks to the North Dakota Forest Service, the legacy of this old-growth forest will not end when these trees die. Seedlings from the Lewis and Clark cottonwoods have been collected and distributed throughout the state and nation.
We grew the trees to about 5 foot, and we offered them to schools throughout the state. And we had some trees go to Jefferson's home in Virginia, which was kind of a neat little story that Lewis and Clark sent samples back to Jefferson, and we just felt that, well, 200 years later, we might as well continue the spirit in sending samples back.
Those seedlings, taken from trees Lewis and Clark might have encountered, will someday provide shade at Monticello, the place where the idea for the expedition was hatched. Near Washburn, Cliff Naylor, NBC, North Dakota News.